Welcome, doTERRA. We are so grateful to be here with you today. What an awesome family reunion, right? That we get to have once a year where we get to come together, and we're so grateful for this intimate setting where we can share a little bit of what we are passionate about creating and what we have seen work and change people's lives. We're so excited that you have paid the price and taken the time to be here right now and to show up strong. Thank you. Thank you.
So today we have a lot of amazing content to cover. And we found, we did the same thing this morning, and what we found is that because there are some exciting new things, there are a lot of questions that come with that. So in order for us to cover all the content, would you be willing to write down any questions that you have as you go, and then we can address those questions afterwards? We have people who are on a tight schedule, need to get back to Salt Lake. So if you're willing to do that, would you raise your hand? Okay, thank you. We're going to have an awesome afternoon. And to start us off,
we should probably give just a few more little. We have overbooked this room by about, we just had to add 100 chairs in, okay? So there's going to be people coming in and filling in. So if you can make sure, if you can scoot to the middle, if you can create a space, we have people waiting outside to see if there's enough seats to come into, okay? So, and you're going to feel the energy just as much over there as over here, okay? And we're so excited for you to feel the energy of an amazing man who has set the tone for training and personal development, at least here in the West, if not way beyond. We love the way that Kirk Duncan lifts energy and brings out the best in people, and we're so excited to have him here to share with you and shake things up today. So with no further ado, we're so grateful to have Kirk Duncan.
All right, good morning. How are we all doing? Oh, it's good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, I'm excited to talk to you today. There's some of you who know me, some of you don't know me. My name is Kirk. How you doing? I'm a friend of the Goddards. My wife and I are friends of the Goddards, and just dear people. And if you will, I love what they do and the mission that they stand for. Would you guys join with me and give them a big round of applause for all their efforts? I love what you do. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, just sweethearts, sweethearts. So I'm here today to cause a new idea to be put in your mind. Because I'll tell you, back in the beginning, when I first started growing up, I was extremely shy. I don't know if we have anybody else in the room who's shy or gets nervous around people, or do I have any introverts in the room? They usually don't raise their hand. They usually don't do anything. They're just like, I'm not an introvert and I won't admit it. But they're just shy. And you know, I grew up, I'm the oldest of 6, and I was a big brother, kind of pesky to my own, sisters and things like that. But I still was shy when I went to school. And when I was shy when I was around people. And sometimes starting a new adventure or being at the level that you're at right now, it can be a little nervous or scary in the direction that you're going. And sometimes when I was growing up, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm shy, and I'm going to be this way for the rest of my life. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know, because it's like talking to people and all this kind of scary stuff. Who's ever been a little shy to talk to somebody before? Raise your hand and make a noise. Make a noise. Okay, sometimes I can be a little shy. So this guy who's standing up here right now, Kirk right here, totally different man. Because I figured out how to change who I was. I love my past. I love my past. I love my environment. I love my mom and dad. I love the challenges. I love all the problems I have. I honor my past. And I embrace this new day to adjust and change who I am. If my power says I'm a tabernacle of clay and I can be molded into something great, then I'm going to get my hands wrapped around who I am and do something about it. I do not have to stay the same that I was. Now in high school, seriously, I would sit in class on the back corner. I'd be the last one to get to class, and I would hope the teacher wouldn't talk to me. I would hope that nobody would say anything to me. And if they did, I would just cringe on the inside. And I remember a very dramatic day in my life. The girl sitting in front of me turned around. And she asked me how I was doing. I couldn't even talk. I was shaking. I couldn't breathe, and my skin went pale, and I'm gripping the side of my desk, and she looked at me and she goes, "You okay?" And I couldn't say anything. I was freaking out because I'm so petrified of people. So petrified. She even stood up and pointed at me and said, "Teacher, there's something wrong with this kid." So you guys, my background comes from being shy and an introvert. And even still today, my mentors will have me take a personality test, and it comes out as a high-level introvert. And they go, "How can you get up and change people's lives and empower them and move people and inspire people, and you're still an introvert?" It's like, well, you got to understand what introvert is. I recharge by being by myself. That's all an introvert is. Extroverts charge up by being around people. Introverts just go by themselves, buy a fishing pole, a can of worms, and go fishing for a while to recharge. But I knew my work in my life was to inspire people, that I can get out there and do something. It's almost like my higher power had this little calling for me to say, "Kurt, go do this." And I'm just scared, nervous. And no matter what level you're at, I don't know if you know the secret to life, but the secret to life is relationships. The more people you know, the cooler your life gets. The cooler it gets. So in fact, reach over to the person next to you, grab them by the arm and say, "Will you be my new relationship?" Will you be my new relationship? And now tell them, "My life just improved." Yeah! Oh, my life just improved. Oh my goodness. Because the more people you know, seriously, your life gets better. And talk about a company, doTERRA, oh my gosh, talk about the products. Opening up our mind and our soul to health and to new levels of being clean and pure on the inside. What a phenomenal product. Takes talking to people to cause the greatness to spread. A big challenge that people have in the world today is talking to somebody. If Kirk can go from shy and introvert to being up in front, you can do that too. Today is the day a change is going to happen, though. Today. When? Today. When? Today. Tell the person next to you, "Get ready. He's about ready to cause us to do something." Get ready. Here we go. I want you to power up. I want you to have energy. I want to teach you how to refuel. I want to teach you how to fill that gas tank so you can get from point A to point B. Did you know if your car runs out of gas, you can't get to your destination? Did you know that? I was driving down the road and the car's almost empty. And my wife goes, "Hey, we need to stop and get gas." And I tested it on her and I go, "No, I don't have time for that." And she goes, "You don't have time to refuel?" I go, "No, I'm too busy. We need to just keep driving down the freeway. We'll be just fine." And I loved what she said next. "Kirk, if we don't stop right now and refuel, we will get stuck and stopped on the freeway, and we can't move forward if we don't have fuel." And I smiled and I looked at her and I went, "That was profound." And I also said, "And you look amazing saying that." And I was like, wow, that was inspired. Listen to what she said. You can't move forward if you don't have the fuel. You can't move forward if you don't have the fuel. You can have all the smarts in the world, but if your gas tank is on empty, you're not moving. So my work here today, the God just asked me, "Kirk, come do your thing here. Come do what you do. Show them, teach them." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll bring it. I will bring it." I got an event up in Salt Lake City happening right now. My wife's on stage taking care of that one, which gave me permission to come down here and to share something with you that I find as profound. You guys okay if I share a gold nugget with you today? Yeah, you okay? Okay, tell the person next to you, you're still the coolest person in the room. Tell the person next to you, you're still the coolest person in the room. Still, you're the coolest person. So I have 2 parts to me. I have 2 parts. How many parts? I have 2 parts. I got flesh and I got a soul. I got flesh and I got a soul. My flesh is the vehicle, my soul is the navigator. Okay, my flesh is the vehicle, my soul is the navigator. My soul has power. And if that power goes down, this vehicle ain't moving. And so I got to charge up. I can't just let my day go on and just run out of energy and go, I don't have time to recharge. In the morning is my time to recharge. And I bet you have your own system. I bet it's working good. But I'm going to enhance it today and show you something that Kirk does to keep my tanks full. Because to get from point A to point B, it's going to take fuel. And if I stop, I know I just ran out of fuel. We have people in here who have teams. And on your teams right now, if you have somebody who stopped working, it's a fuel issue. It's a fuel issue. You call them up and you go, my friend, you need to stand up and refuel right now. The reason somebody stops is because they're out of fuel. They're out of fuel. And if they don't charge up in the morning, they're going to run out of fuel. So as leaders, as people who are examples, as you're sharing what you believe in, your work is to teach people how to refuel. There's systems. But I can also be somebody who knows nothing about business. In fact, I kind of am that way. I barely passed high school. I got a 2.6 grade point average in high school. Mama was proud of me. You know, way to go, Kirk. You barely graduated, but you got her done. I was like, that grade will take you somewhere, I'm sure. My mom and dad right now are traveling back from Nauvoo on a service mission. And I talked to her just the other day, and I said, Mom, you still proud of me? She goes, you're doing good, Kirky. You're doing good. You're doing good, Schnuckums. You know, you just... And she goes, you still doing that? And I go, yeah. And I said, Mom, remember when I barely passed high school? And she goes, yeah, I knew you'd do something because you didn't have the smarts to do anything. You had to figure out how to do something else. We have people who call Kim and I up, and we have people who call us up and they go, hey, so how you guys doing? We see you guys are being super successful in what you're doing and changing people's lives. Can we come talk to you? We want to find out what you do. I said, hey, the only thing I know how to do is keep my tank full of gas. I can get off a path, drive through the field, and still get back up on the path as long as I have fuel. My road can be bumpy, but as long as I got fuel, I'll get back to the path. But if I run out of fuel, I stop and I blame somebody else. People who stop blame somebody else. And if you catch anybody blaming, you say back to them, my friend, I see you're out of fuel. It's time to charge back up. Own your life. Get some fuel in your tank and get going. So my life's been bumpy. Man, I just click into four-wheel drive, and I get through it because I have fuel. Because I have what? Fuel. What's the word? Fuel. I can't hear you. What's the word? Fuel. Tell the person next to you, it's time to get more fuel. It's time to get more fuel. Got to get more fuel. Got to get more fuel. Okay, so how can you get fuel? Lots of different ways. We all know this. You can get fuel from so many different directions. Eat real food. Lunchtime, I'm eating my green beans, my peas and my carrots, and I'm eating my watermelon, and I'm eating all my yummy stuff. I'm eating good food. Get good food going to me, I got good fuel. Food is one part. Gee, I wonder if oils have anything to do with energy. Do they? Who feels energized after they use an oil? Oh, make a noise. Come on, you guys, make a noise. Serious. At my home, I've got a series of oils. I got a series of them. And anytime I'm getting ready for a training and I want to open my mind to massive inspiration, not just some, massive inspiration of how to change people's lives, I use this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I take the lid off. I make sure it's the right one. I'm in. I reach over to my fan and I drop a couple of things on the drops on my fan, and then it splatters it all over my room. Until one day someone walked in and said, "Do you know they made a diffuser for that?" The great diffuser, except it's all over the wall, in my hair, and everywhere. So I learned that there was diffusers. That was powerful. That was a life-changing moment for me, not to have wild orange all over the computer anymore. So I have a series of oils I use to make sure I'm tapping into massive energy, massive inspiration, because I know who I am. I've been called to make a change in other people's lives. And you, my friends, answered the same call. You know in that moment when you're posed with the question, are you interested in doing something inside said, choose me, I'm in. So you're in, and here you are. And the only thing that's going to stop you from getting from point A to point B is running out of fuel. If you got tons of fuel, you can follow the path, keep going. You can go over a bumpy road, keep going. You can climb over a mountain. Oh, I'm going up a mountain? No big deal. I got fuel. Oh my gosh, we got a whole series of obstacles? It's okay. I got fuel. What's it going to take, my friends, to get from point A to point B? What's it going to take? Fuel. Okay, grab the arm of the person next to you and shake them violently and tell them, it takes fuel to get there. It takes fuel. It takes fuel. We all know we got energy on the inside that's untapped. We got energy on the inside that's untapped, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove you got energy locked in your body. We got energy locked in your body. This is what it's going to look like. When I say go, everybody's going to stand up, and we're all going to give each other a back massage, okay? Who's in for that? Okay, everybody stand up. Stand up. I'll give you instructions on how to do that. Just everybody stand up. Okay, now hold your hands up. Turn this direction. Place your hand on their shoulders and massage. And make a noise like, oh my gosh, that makes so, oh, that feels so good. Just rub those shoulders, rub them, rub them. You're releasing untapped energy, stored energy. They got energy inside there and you're waking it up. Keep rubbing, make noises. Ah, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, a little bit of karate chop. All the way across the back. Okay, wipe the shoulders off, wipe the shoulders off, wipe it off, wipe it off. Hands up in the air, turn around. Next person, give them a back massage. Make noises. Ah. Do you feel that energy release? There's energy stuck inside of us. We got to wake that up. Make noises. Ah, oh my gosh, this feels so good. Okay, karate chop. All over the back, all over the back. Excellent, excellent. Wipe the shoulders off, wipe it off, wipe it off. And big round of applause for the massage. Good job, everybody. Good job, everybody. Okay, go ahead and sit down. Go ahead and sit down. Okay. All right, so let's talk here for a moment. Let's talk here for a moment. We seek for energy every day. We look for energy. We want energy every day. We want our toaster to work. We want the air conditioning to work. We want the fridge to work. We want the car to work. We want things to work. We want things to have energy. But we tend to forget about ourselves. And I'm going to tell you right now, you have it in you to get from point A to point B. Who believes that? Who believes it? Okay. Okay, reach behind you and tap someone on the knee and tell them, you're going to make it, my friend. You are so going to make it, my friend. You are going to make it. You're going to make it. Let me just tell you just really quick what's happened to me, what's been phenomenal. I went from the heaviest weight I've ever been in my life, the heaviest weight I've ever been in my life, and the most messed up with money I've been in my entire life, to crazy, amazing, mind-blowing experiences of positive life and just an energy-rich life. And I don't have the smarts to know what to do. I just know I got to have the fuel to get there. All my success and moving from an introvert to somebody who can change people's lives has happened from adding fuel to my life. Adding fuel. What are we going to do here in this class together? We're going to add fuel. What are we going to do? Add fuel. What are we going to do? Add fuel. Okay, but before we do that, we got to find out how fuel gets robbed from us. What are the energy thieves? What takes our energy? Let me just narrow it down super fast. I know you guys are like naming off emotions, children's names, spouses' names. You're going, no, it's called, there's a name for this. It's called a child, right? Or laundry or all this other stuff. Let me just back up and help you on the internal world of who you are. Because you got an inside world and an outside world. What you do on the inside creates your outside. And it's a powerful principle to understand. If you want your outside world to be amazing, you start to be amazing on the inside. It starts always inside and the unseen before it becomes seen. So if I want a great and powerful life, it's got to start on the inside. And an energy thief is negative thoughts. You all know this. You all know that negative thoughts rob us of fuel. We'll have the thought before we have the emotion, before we have the action. And so negative thoughts rob us of power all the time. It down moves us. It moves us in that position where it takes energy away from us. And that's just not cool. Because you can be all smart and know all the system and everything, but you're trying to figure out how come I can't get to that next level, that next goal, that next piece, where you lack energy. Okay, well, it's taking my energy. Oh, it's my head. Kirk, how do I protect my mind? How do I do this? Jody, would you help me with this?
Absolutely.
Would you help me demo something here? Okay, 2 options. Option 1 is to use this particular tool I'm going to use on Jody. Okay, Jody, go ahead and stand up. Everybody, big round of applause for Jody standing up, please. Have you ever had a negative thought before? Yes. Yes. Everybody say, hello, Jody. Okay, Jody's having negative thoughts. Seriously? So have you. You guys, the crazy thing is, we all have the same negative thoughts. It's the same stuff going around, passed from generation to generation. It's nothing new. You won't be put in a white jacket because they finally figured out it's normal. Okay, so tell the person next to you, my friend, you're normal for having negative thoughts.
You're normal.
You're normal. You're normal. So Jody here, I got an idea how to protect his head against negative thoughts. It's not publicly accepted yet. Okay, out in the world, it's not quite publicly accepted, but I have a way to help him protect his mind against negative thoughts. And it has a little technical issue to it, but are you okay if we test it on you right now? You good for that?
Bring it on.
Okay, bring it on. I promise it'll be memorable forever because people are gonna take pictures of this when this happens. All right, so cue the cameras. Cue the cameras. Okay, so this is the tool. One of my little suggestions to protect your head against negative thoughts. Wayne, the tool. Okay. What do you think? Don't you think that this would work? Because I tried it for a minute, and oh, hold that side. I just ripped just hold that. We're gonna armor you up because this will solve everything. Because if you can just stop it from coming from the outside in, this will work, right? Right? Right, everybody? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is. You can see why it's not publicly accepted. Okay, hold that. And I'm going to make him a helmet of protection. This is going to save him. Yes, it will. Isn't he precious? So you test this at convention tomorrow. You see how that turns out. And you just get on my Facebook page on Kirk Duncan. Just let me know how this turns out for you. Is this even going to work, my friends? No. We have a challenge to protect ourselves against negative thoughts. They rob our energy. So if you ever wonder why you're out of energy, it was a thought that started to take it away. It was a thought. It's not your children first, but it's the thought of your children. It's not money, it's the thought of money. It's not this or that, it's the thought of it that starts to take the energy from the inside out. You getting warmed up inside? Doesn't he kind of look like a baked potato ready to throw in the oven? Okay, this does not work. May I teach you what will work? Anybody over there? Over here? Over there? Okay, all right, let's get this off, Jody. Big round of applause for Jody coming up. Thank you, sir. You can, here you go. You can keep all that. You can keep that. All right, so I'm going to teach you in just a moment what to do. Wayne, let's show them the results 101. In the years of mentoring people and doing what I'm doing, I've found that there's a common thread between people who are successful and people who struggle. And on the screen right here, I'm showing you a screenshot of one of my equations of success. You're welcome to take a picture of it. It's a lot faster than trying to draw the picture and everything like that. Take a picture of it. Something you can use to look at. Those of you who over there can't see it, jump up, run over here, take a picture. Get up out of your chair and get this picture. This is the equation that I work with to change my life in any result I want. Anything I want, I can use this equation. Now, if you can't get up and move, get a picture of it. So results 101 looks like this. Thank my higher power that he split up a power into 2 different areas. My thoughts and emotions are 2 powers that merge together that create words. Thoughts and emotions merge to create words. Say it with me. Okay, look at me right here, you guys. Look at me. My thoughts are here. My emotions are here. My voice is in the middle. Emotions come up here. Thoughts come from here. They merge here and become words. So there's two powers, thoughts and emotions, and they create words. Can I destroy a child with words? Yeah. Sometimes we say things, we're like, oh, I wish I could take that back. Our thoughts and emotions came into our mouth, but we opened our mouth and said those words. If we can destroy someone, can we empower them? Okay, I need a louder response on that. Yes? Tell the person next to you, by the way, you look smashing today. You look smashing today. Thoughts and emotion create words. Check this out. Check this out. Thoughts are on the inside. Emotions are on the inside. They form into your mouth, and you have a chance to shut your mouth and not say it, or you have a chance to open your mouth, and words go from your inside world. It's the transformation from inside world to the outside world, is that you take thoughts and emotions on the inside. Now the words come out of you and create your surroundings. The power of your words is today's the new day to change your language. Today's the day to change your new language. You want a powerful business? You talk that way. You want a new income? You talk that way. I believe I can't have it unless I can say it. If I can say it, I get it. If I can say it, I can get it. Say it with me. If I can say it, I can get it. If I can say it, I can get it. Tell the person next to you, if I can say it, I can get it. So words come out of my mouth. Where am I on time? Words come out of my mouth. Words create a story. My story creates my life. Words create a story. My story creates my life. So if I want to go back to the conception of my life, the two that came together to conceive my life are my thoughts and emotions. But at the word place, it's tough sometimes to manage thoughts. It's tough sometimes to manage emotions. But boy, can we change our words right here, right now. Right here, right now, we can manage that. Because we can put duct tape on our lips if we can't talk nice. We can put little clips on our lips to go, people look at us and go, what's the problem? I can't say anything nice, so I shut my mouth. We can do something. We can do something. But I know I've got to manage my words. And if I barely pass high school, from that point on, I decided I'm going to be a global warrior of the mind. I'm going to change people's lives. And my thoughts are going, no, you can't. You didn't pass high school barely. Like, serious? You were bad. Hey, let's turn down the volume just a tiny bit there, big guy. Thank you. So my words create the story. My story creates my life. Follow that with me. My words create my story. My story creates my life. Twice as loud. My words create my story. My story creates my life. Hand motion. My words create the story. The story creates my life. Tell the person next to you, change your words, change your life. Change your words, change your life. The little secret here is you got to say it till it happens. And most people give up. They say, well, I said it for 2 minutes. How come it hasn't happened yet? I have another way to teach you about how to do this that is epic. It's huge. It's big. And if you'll play along, you'll feel something change on the inside of you. Because on this, you can take the high road of I can and I will, or there's the low road of I can't and I'm not good enough. When you hear yourself say, I can't do this, I'm not good enough for this, well, congratulations. It was a step in destroying your own success. And when everything's falling apart, it's all falling apart, can you still say something good? Come on, can you still say something good? Yeah. Here, look at the person behind you and just tell them, oh, by the way, you look smashing today too. Tell them, you look smashing today too. Words create the story, story creates the life. In my life, the story goes like this. I have an energy-rich life. I have an energy-rich life. My fuel tank is full, and I can go anywhere I want to go. I have an energy-rich life, my fuel tank is full, and I can go anywhere I want. Because if I have the energy, I can get from point A to point B to point C. But if you don't have the energy, my friend, you cannot get to point B no matter how smart you are and how you think the system works. It takes energy to get there. So here we go. We're going to talk about building the energy. We're going to talk about how to do this. When I had you turn around and talk to somebody behind you, and you said that they were smashing, did anybody notice the energy in the room shift? It goes up. Here, watch this. Elbow the person next to you and look at him and tell him, hey, by the way, you're absolutely smashing. Tell the person next to you, by the way, you're absolutely smashing. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny little comment. Just a tiny little comment makes a difference. In the morning when I make up, and you guys know this, I'm here to remind you of something you already know how to do, but I'm going to add some fun little pieces to it that you may not have thought about. In the morning, you know that moment with the mirror is critical. Your hair is all crooked. Your face looks like it got ran over. You know that moment is like, wow, what happened to me? But that mirror is critical. When you come around the corner and you see that mirror, I hope it looks like this. Wow. Oh, I am hot. Oh. Yeah! And my wife sometimes will walk in and go, what are you doing? I'm looking at myself. And she goes, are you doing that thing? And I go, hey, I'm feeding my fuel tank with the words I want to hear. I don't wait for anybody else to say them to me. I say them to me. Now, I don't walk around in public doing this. That's creepy, okay? People think you're weird when you do it in public, right? Especially like this, right? But we're all friends. We're all friends. We're all friends. So when me in the mirror, critical moment. Me in the mirror, critical moment. Your people on your team are probably destroying themselves in the mirror. You have anybody in your team that's not working? They have a mirror problem. It's a fuel problem. Maybe go to their house, wake them up. Come here, let's go to your mirror. Okay, for you, my friend, that mirror is the time to look at yourself. You lift your chin up just a little bit. You just kind of stand there a little bit moment, and you say super cool, super nice things to you, and make sure you tell yourself, wow, I look smashing today. Who in here looks smashing today? Who in here has like the coolest life ever? Tell the person next to you, by the way, you look smashing today. Tell them one more time. You look smashing. You look smashing. My work on the planet, my calling in life, my calling, my mission in my life is to reach into people's worlds and move them up a notch. Wherever they're at, I'm going to reach into their world and move them up a notch. And I know you accepted the same calling. I know you're here to take what you have, the products and the services you guys have here, to take those oils, to show them what can happen in their life. You reach into people's worlds and you move them up a notch. Here, everybody take your hand out, right here. Reach out in front of you, grab a hold of their soul, lift them up a notch. And just tell them, that's where I'm going to take you, my friend. Yes! Okay, so on here, the energy thieves are negative thoughts. You guys keep it super simple. Success is all about who can manage their thoughts, period. Bing, done. Done right there. People who get their goals, manage their thoughts. People who don't get their goals, didn't manage their thoughts. That's it. There's the secret to the world. Be successful in anything, your thoughts stopped you, or they got you there. Of all my mentoring, of all the different appointments I've done, today marks my 3,252nd presentation as an introvert. If I can change myself, oh, you can change yourself. If I can move to the next level, you can move to the next level. Everybody take your hand, put it right here. For things to get better? Let's start over. Take your hand like this, put it right here. For things to get better? I must get better. For things to improve? I must improve. Okay, give someone a high five and say, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Ooh. Next shot. Next shot. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. This is scrumptious, okay? This is scrumptious. This is food for the soul right here, powering up the energy, filling the fuel tank. The moment in the mirror. This is the time when you are here in the seriously It is such a well-known tool, but do we maximize it to its fullest energy that it can give us? I created for you a declaration. If I was you, this is what I would say. It's put together, it's organized, and I'm going to show you what I mean. You guys can get up, come take a picture, get it on your phone. Of all the mentoring stuff I know, I spent 2 days figuring out who are you, where are you going, what's your obstacles, what's your subconscious programs that are messing things up, and these words are designed to push you in order and to get you moving forward. It's a set of declarations, and you're going to see a fun piece that's going to come out in addition to this. The top one says, this is my season. There's a harvest to be had, and this is your season. Whose season is it? Mine. This is your season. I am confident, clear, and strong. Because most people say, it's so confusing. I don't know if I can do this. Serious? Change your language. Words create your story. Story creates your life. Change your words. When someone says, it's so confusing, it's like, oh, you just messed things up. Well, Kirk, how do you change that? It looks like there's some information I may be missing, and I'm going to find it very soon so I can get moving to point C. That's the same way as saying, I'm confused. But it's an empowered way of saying it. You know this. I'm here to remind you and to show you an additional piece to add to your declarations. I'm confident, clear, and strong. I empower and influence others to... What's the word? Greatness. What is it? Greatness. I create. Let's just say that together. I create. Okay, now say it like you're like super powerful, standing on the top of a mountain, ready to go. I create. Now there's a thunderstorm coming in and lightning is going on place and it's super powerful, ready to go. I create. I create a life of order and abundance. Order does not come into your garage by itself. Who wishes their garage was more in order? You know when you pull in, you go, oh, I'm so tired of this garage being... Your words and energy are killing that garage. When I walk into my garage people, boxes, bows and ribbons, everything in here, I love you. And in my mind, you will become in order someday. And I just wanted to give you a speech to let you know I all love you. I love all of you. So I do not discount or shut down things. I constantly say that my life is coming in order. And oh my gosh, is it coming in order. I create a life of order and abundance. Who's interested in abundance? Really? Come on, you guys. Fuel. Who's interested in abundance? Yeah. Shake the person next to you one more time and just tell them, abundance is for you, my friend. Yeah. And you know what this is all about. You know what this is about. Every one of us, all of us, are working to create freedom of the mind, the body, and the soul. Freedom from disease, freedom from weird junk they're putting into food, freedom, freedom, freedom. So the last statement is, I stand for freedom. I stand for freedom. Okay, these declarations, just so you know, I said this morning. I said these declarations this morning. We got little people in the room? Oh, little people? They know me, they love me, but they don't like it when I'm loud. So warn that little person, it's going to get louder. If you guys have little people in the room, it's going to get louder here in just a moment. You ready, Wayne? Okay, while you're just sitting, you're just going to sit on this one and say these declarations. We're going to say it with the strongest voice possible, and then I want to show you how I do it. And it's going to make a huge difference in your life. Okay, let's go with these declarations. Remind the person next to you, give it all you got. Give it all you got, my friend. If you're going to say it, add some power to it, right? Before we say these, I want you to know that today is a life-changing moment, because if you decide today to amp up your language and change your world and talk to people in a very empowered language, you're going to see things come together for you. Those who don't, they have a life of everything falling apart. You want to bring your life together? You say it, that it's coming together. Because today, the power of our word still holds true for creation. It has not changed since the day of Genesis. It is still the same. Our words create our life. And we've got to remember this. And if you want great things to happen, you need to talk about it, say it in an empowering way. Okay, here we go. While you're just sitting there, let's go through the declarations together, but give it all you got. Okay, ready? Tell the person next to you, I want to hear you loud. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? And begin. This is my season. I am confident, clear, and strong. I empower and influence others to greatness. I create a life of order and abundance. I stand for freedom. Okay, here we go. Good, good, good. Now, this is what you add to the background. If you're going to do declarations and you're going to create a world, a life, it might as well be epic. When I do my declarations, it's got theme music in the background. Because I'm not any ordinary soul on the planet. God put me on the planet to go get him, Kirk. Show him what can be built. I'm going to take you that knows nothing, Kirk, and show him greatness can happen. Epic experience. Is your life epic or is it a fairy tale? You decide by the way you tell your story. You get theme music. You walk in the bathroom, you hit play. Stand in front of that mirror and act as an epic life. Are you in on this? Adding music to your declarations is so powerful. All day you just walk around going, my life is epic. Miracles happen. The elements of life come together because of my words. I believe I'm a creator. I can make this happen and watch it come together. You guys want to practice? Okay. Okay, roll on the music. I get all caught up in that. Okay, hold on. Don't you just need an epic moment in the morning? All day long, I just hear this background music, and everything I do, I'm washing the dishes. Dun, dun, dun! I'm just like in this epic movement all the time. Driving, getting dressed, fixing my hair. Like it's this movie. Like you're part of a movie that's unveiling. You create your life with your story, your words. Don't you think you all need some epic background music? Yeah, tell the person next to you, I'm getting epic music. I'm so getting it. Serious? Serious? Okay. Okay, we're so going there. We're so going there. We're going to have an epic moment. Epic. What's the word? Epic. What's the word? Epic. My words create the story. A story creates my life, and it might as well be epic. Yeah. People ask me, so how'd you learn how to do your business? All this stuff. It's like, I don't know how to run a business. They go, well, how you doing it? I got fuel. What kind of fuel? Epic fuel. Where'd you get that? First thing in the morning. Hair's like this, faces like that. But it's an epic moment. I'll tell you right now, you empower yourself with epic music, with epic declarations, and you do this in the morning, watch what happens to you personally. You have a team of people, oh my goodness, you play the music through the phone. Get up, my friend, you got an epic life. You go to the front of the house, you set up the speakers at the front of the house going, you're not stopping this business, listen to this epic music. And you stand front steps and just have an epic moment. And you'll see him come out, yes, I'm part of the freedom movement. Isn't this scrumptious? Tell the person next to you, you're going to look great doing this in just a moment. You're going to look great. How am I doing on time? Do it? Go? Okay. All right. So, I just this morning posted a quick little video about money. If you got money stuff going on, get on my Facebook page, watch my little video I got for you. Just go to Kirk Duncan, watch that little video I have about money. You're going to see another one tomorrow, another one tomorrow. I got a whole series of videos about money. If you got head stuff about money, let me help you healers with your money issues. Just some little tips, little 30-second, 45-second tips that I can help you with money stuff. So this is what's going to happen. When I say go, you're all going to stand up. And then I'm going to cue the music. Wayne's going to turn on the epic music. You're going to stand there. I'm going to give you a little speech. Then the music, it goes along, and then it pauses. And right after it pauses, we go after these declarations. And we say them twice. How many times are we going to say them? How many times are we going to say them? The second time, we crank up the energy a little bit more. Because I need to expand my DNA of the amount of energy it can hold. And I've got to stretch this soul. So I'm going to stretch it so it can accept more fuel to move forward. If I just say it the way I always say it, I didn't stretch my DNA. I got to open this up so there's more room to receive fuel and energy. First time, we're going to say it in an epic way. Second time, double the epic experience. Okay, tell the person next to you. Second time, double the epic experience. Second time, double the epic experience. If you, my friends, let me tell you my success to battle negative comments. I fill my head full of powerful statements. There's no room for a negative one. There's no room. There's no room for a negative one. If you battle negative comments, you got to fill your head with something else. An epic story of who you are. Everybody please stand up. Everybody please stand up. Here we go. Oh, remind the person next to you, you're going to look great doing this. You're going to look great. You're going to look great. Okay, hold. Okay, second time, we crank up the energy another level, yes? Okay, and as soon as we're done with that moment, my work here is done. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hugs and kisses and slobbers to all of you. I love you. Thank you for allowing me to come here to speak to you. I love you. I love you. I love you. When I see you, when I get to meet you on the other side, because on your to-do list, the last thing to do is die. When you get to the other side, and you see me standing there looking at you, if you dare go downstairs, I'm going to drag you upstairs with me. Okay? This life is not just for this planet. It's for what's going to happen afterwards. And what you take with you is energy, your spirit. That's it. Get your spirit powered up. That's what we're here to do, is find and tap into the highest level energy as possible. And right now, you make that happen. Not tomorrow, today. When? Today! When? Today! Okay, here we go. Epic experience. Cue the music. I got to talk to you for a minute, then I'll tell you to go. You have been called to a mission to bring health and strength back to the planet. Long time ago, before you even came to this planet, you knew this is what you're going to do. You knew you would be the one to wake people up to do something different. Accept the mission, accept the calling, and realize it's time to add energy to your life. No more playing small. You go epic. Okay, here we go. Ready? And go! This is my season! I am confident, clear, and strong! I have power and influence others to greatness! Get your arms moving! A life of order and abundance! I stand for freedom! Get your hands up, second time, go! This is my season! I am confident, clear, and strong! With power, influence others to greatness! I create a life of order and abundance! I stand for freedom! Big round of applause!
That was so awesome. How's the energy now? Thank you. That's right. There's no space for after lunch blues. Only for amazing creation. Way to step into that. Beautiful. What a great way to start this week, huh? I'm so excited for the energy to be where it needs to be. I love what he talked about inviting your team members and team leaders to that higher space and holding them there. And what great examples you are of holding and standing in that space yourself so they can join you, right? The brilliance is in each one of us. And as we draw that brilliance out of each other, wow, it's just magnified and amplified. Right? It's covering the earth. And I don't know if you can feel it, but there is something in the air in doTERRA right now, isn't there? What Kirk said about us having a mission and a purpose of reaching out with health and wellness to the world, man, it's shifting things, isn't it? I'm so grateful to be a part of that, and I'm so grateful that you have decided to stand right now in this space. You know, doTERRA is an amazing company. How many of you have absolute belief in doTERRA as a company and the owners? Raise your hand. Easy, right? Easy. How about the product? How many of you have absolute confidence that the product will make a difference in people's lives and really work? How many of you? Was that hard to raise your hand? It wasn't hard, right? That was like easy, that was cake. That's one of the things as we talk to Kirk and other coaches that coach people in doTERRA, they say, wow, it's unlike other network marketing because the company is so good and the product is so good that guess what? Where do the blocks show up? In the people, right? In us, in each of us. That's the only issue that we could have in doTERRA because everything else is so good, right? So we can either see that as a drawback, right? Or we can see it as an awesome benefit because what do we get to do? We get to improve ourselves. We get to become who we were meant to be. How do you like what James Bybee said about doTERRA being a personal development company wrapped up in essential oils? Isn't it true? How many of you, your life is absolutely being transformed with your experience in doTERRA and beyond, right? It is happening. There is change, and you can choose to be transformed through this process. So I want to just invite you to make that choice right now, to actually believe those words that you just yelled out. Right? And to make that choice that you are enough. That you will be that voice, that you will be empowered so that you can carry this message. That's the only thing keeping you from all the people that are waiting for you, and all the success that is there for you. It is right there for you. We want to roll right into what we like to call success simplified. Okay? Now that you've made that choice, you're ready, right? Okay. You've heard us talk about mindset, skill set, and tool set. 3 simple words that mean everything, right, about the you that makes a difference. Kirk talked about your mindset. You know about the skill set. We've been getting great training, right, on all of these skills that we need to do. And then the tool set is what supports us there. So again, mindset, who you are, skill set, what you do, and tool set, what you use. And what I love, I want you to pull out your folder. If you need a folder, please raise your hand. Okay, they'll be coming around. We've got them right here, so keep your hand up till you get one. when you get your folder, you'll see this Success Simplified, and many of you have seen this. The only thing you'll notice is that it's even simpler than it was before, okay? So, same front. Everything's right there, just like it always has been. We know those things have been unchanging. But I want to show you the back. That used to be the tool set. There was the whole page kind of trying to explain to you this, and then it had the expanded tool set on the bottom. Well, look at how simple it is. Do you notice? It's just prepare and invite, class one-on-one, live, share, build, lead. End, right? That is it. We have some people that like that. Today we're going to talk about how the Wellness Consult has been brought into the Live Guide, so it's all integrated for you there. The Wellness Consult certificate you'll find in the class. Everything is simplified. The class is one sheet. And you are going to love how simple and duplicatable this is to carry to your team and help them succeed. Okay? See, if we can make sense of the path and it's really clear in our minds, then we can transfer that so easily. And that vision can go on and on. Anything you have to say about that?
No.
I want to introduce you to this new class. How many of you have loved Medicine Cabinet Makeover? Love it? Amazing, isn't it? It has served to open so many minds to the possibilities of bringing natural solutions into your home. Well, a little while ago, we met with legal, and they said, we love this class, Medicine Cabinet Makeover. It's empowering so many people. And about July or August, you're going to get to switch it. Okay? And we said, wait, can we review this? And they said, okay, September. You can switch it in September. So you will not find any comparing of the old medications to natural solutions. But what we did was keep all of the best from the Medicine Cabinet Makeover class and bring it to what we call the Natural Solutions class. Okay? So it comes with all the safety to go for years and years and years. So we can be safe teaching this, duplicating this, and wherever the FDA is, they're going to be happy with the way that we are sharing it, right? And we're doing it appropriately and modeling that. I'm so excited for the benefits of this class, and I want to introduce you to my good friend and mentor, Laura Jacobs, who will share with you a little bit more about this class and why it is what it is. So pull out your class handout. Here comes Laura.
And no, we didn't plan our orange clothing. That was a coincidence. Apparently it's the Orange Energy Day. How are you? Nice to have all of you here. It's nice to be here with you in this kind of historical moment, right? In this not yet finished building. They were hustling their buns to get it so we could be in here today. It was so nice. Nice to be here with you. Well, I'm so excited to share with you the latest tool, and that we were happy to accept the truth that the Medicine Cabinet Makeover did have a lifespan and that it did end. You know, in our world, we've been taught more about language, haven't we? So I think necessarily let's review just a little bit about languaging and what we're allowed to do. And one of the things that's so important as I go through this discussion with you is that you realize this is not new news. This has been the law for decades. We've just been maybe coloring outside the lines a little bit, so we're going to reel ourselves in. You want to know why? Because we're big. We're about to be $1 billion company. We're noticeable. Our actions are noticeable. People are watching everything we're doing and everything we're saying and finding fault with us to their own benefit, right? They're using our weaknesses to be their strength. So it's vital that we protect what we have, right? We need to all be the keepers of the flame so we can continue to spread the news that we have to teach. And when Natalie talks to us about what a gift it is for us to be part of this mission and that we're feeling something. Don't you feel something when you go in that building over there? And that's like serious, like a serious building, don't you think? How many of you have been in there so far? Oh, not enough of you, right? The rest of you are going to go over at 4 or something and check it out. You're going to love it. It's beautiful. It's a footprint. It's a footprint. So as we're part of that footprint, our language, as Kirk has taught us so appropriately, is a huge part of what we do and what we create on the planet. Our words send out a vibration. That's why he has you speaking them. So let's just review what we know to be true about languaging and what's appropriate and what's not. When you are in a promotional moment, meaning you are in front of people who are not yet members of doTERRA. Okay, y'all with me? Any kind of moment where you're teaching and inviting people who are not yet members of doTERRA, you necessarily must keep your language to wellness. That is why we chose to end the lifespan of Medicine Cabinet Makeover, because it had just some feeling, just for the sheer fact that there was medicine on one side, that we could be going from, literally, on one side of the page, sickness to wellness, okay? So just by the images alone, it could draw that assumption. Once you're in a member-to-member audience, how many of you went to convention last year? Okay, do you remember an amazing presentation done by a researcher who showed the viability of DDR in regards to certain disease, right? Y'all remember that? Now, the reason why that conversation was acceptable is that was a member-to-member moment. Now, in a member-to-member moment, you can talk about how to move from sickness to wellness. Does everybody understand what I'm teaching? It's imperative. Okay, so the rule is, if you want to talk about sickness to wellness, you can, but it must be generic. Would you be able to sign someone up in doTERRA specifically and have a generic conversation? The answer is it would be impossible. So if you want to run a website or hold a class and you want to talk about how to get over diseases, you are welcome to do so, but every product that you speak of must be generically named. You can use no brand names, and you can never mention the name doTERRA. Does everybody understand? Okay, so that's not what we're doing. We want to promote doTERRA. We want to promote membership, so we're going to keep our conversations to wellness. So I want you to know that every single word in this entire class was very carefully chosen to support you in doing that. So look, for example, inside the Medicine Cabinet Makeover now, and notice we're only showing the makeover side. We're no longer showing the side that we're dumping in our trash, right, or moving out of that lifestyle. We're just showing the positive side of the Medicine Cabinet Makeover, and I want you to look at all the words that are in there. Do any of them look curative or treatment-oriented? So the idea of wellness is the kinds of things you would do at home. You would not cure a bug bite or a cut or a sunburn. That's how they actually classify that in the category of moving from sickness to wellness. Something as simple as a bug bite, a scrape, a bruise, or a burn is classified as sickness to wellness. So the word soothe is fine. Do you ever get irritated skin? Does that happen periodically? That's considered normal. Eczema is considered a condition. Do you see the difference? So if you have overheated skin that occasionally needs cooling, well, you're welcome to do that because that's a wellness thing you can do. Does that make sense? So look again at all those words. This is a great little training for you to understand what kind of language is acceptable. So let me repeat again. In a promotional moment where you have an opportunity to share a brand name product like Digestin or On Guard or Deep Blue, and you're promoting doTERRA by name, anything with a brand, you stay on the side of the line of wellness, okay? If you want to talk sickness to wellness, what are the two places you can do it? Member to member and generically, okay? So if you have a website that you want to put up and you want to talk about all these awesome things that happen with oils and you talk disease names, you can do it, but that would have to not offend anybody who's a member of another essential oil company because it would all be generic. Make sense? And it needs to be at least 2 clicks away from a promotional place. So you can't be 1 click away and take them right to membership. Okay? So think about that in your meetings as well. So I want you to feel really, really safe with what we've been taught through doTERRA. We were privileged at the leadership retreat in Arizona to be taught this through Ben Tyler, who was a lawyer that was with doTERRA, and he helped us understand that. So we're just really moving in our culture to making sure we're preserving our culture. We're preserving our message. We're preserving our opportunity. So turn with me, if you will, now to the handout, and you'll notice that the flow, especially in the front and the back, is more or less the same, right? And if you've taught the Medicine Cabinet Makeover, you recognize that things are the same. What's different about the top? We're sharing about the timeline or the history of how we've handled health, or sickness for that matter, over the history of time. So what was going on for a number of thousands of years is people were completely relying on plants, right? There was no such thing as synthetic medicine. They relied very much on their capacity to understand the plants. We had a fun training on Monday where PJ Hanks and myself taught about what's doctrine of signatures, where a plant literally shows you what body part it helps. So everybody go home and look up clary sage, and you're going to find out it looks just like fallopian tubes in a uterus. And sure enough, it's fantastic for all of that. Now, it's also great for the guys. I have not yet figured out where clary sage is telling that story because I have to relook at the anatomy, but honestly, the plants do share with you how they benefit the body. And it's through the doctrine of signatures that all medicine was based until just more recently in the West. Still globally, that is how they figure out what a plant does. So there's so much to know about the science of essential oils. Now, who of you know the name Avicenna? Does anybody know the name Avicenna? You should all know that name. He is the man that actually discovered the process of steam distillation of essential oils. We often talk about Egyptians using essential oils. That is inaccurate historically. They did not know how to steam distill oils. That was not discovered until Avicenna's time. And I remember it was 900 AD or BC, but I couldn't remember which one it was. PJ, which was it? AD. So 900 AD was when we started to have the science of steam distilling and creating essential oils. So when you're telling your story, because I watch the feed online, and again, I watch where people are poking at us because we're inaccurate. So when we talk about oils being steam distilled since the beginning of time, it's not true. It's not accurate history, so we want to make sure. One of the biggest stories in the essential oil world was John Valet running a perfumery and getting burned and sticking his arm in a vat of lavender oil. And that was one of the things that awakened the world again to the value of essential oils therapeutically. So there's some fun things to highlight there, and you can choose what speaks to you, but just pick a couple things, right? We're not trying to trump our class with history. We're trying to awaken the possibility in people's minds that this is not something we just woke up yesterday and decided to do. This has been going on. Plant medicine has been going on since the beginning of time. So what did the Egyptians do is they were often grinding plants and the powders and creating infusions where the powder was going into a substance like an oil or water, for example, and then they would apply that as their therapeutic method. So surely the plant medicine and the aromas have been viable through all of time. Just know when steam distillation was viable. And then what's the impression we're trying to make here with the blue and the green versus the gray line? We're just showing the progress of modern medicine. We have had amazing things happen in our world with the discovery of modern medicine. We've just kind of gone to a place of like overripe fruit, which starts to rot, right? We've leaned on a certain mentality for a long time in modern medicine where we're leaning heavily on synthetic medicine. And you're going to learn a lot from Dr. David Hill during convention about how essential oils work in the body and why their multiplicity of chemical compounds is an essential part of why they're so safe. The danger in synthetic medicine is that it's oversimplified. It's too much of certain chemicals, and its structure is incorrect for the absorption in the body versus the safety of plant medicine. Now, the word medicine, I'm not necessarily modeling good behavior, because the minute we say plant medicine, we're back to that sickness to wellness, right? So let me stop myself and correct my own language. Plant solutions, right? Nature solutions, things like that. So we want to watch our language. Now, the little diagrams here at the end of the line are to demonstrate that what you focus on expands.
Sorry, we have a white Mini Cooper next door parked in front that's going to get towed right now. So whoever you are, find your way.
She's on her way out right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes.
We can draw on pieces of this.
Fantastic. Yes. Is that the class? Okay. All right. So the diagrams at the end are just simply meant to show that what you focus on expands. And when you focus on the root cause, you have very few symptoms to deal with. When you ignore the root cause and you focus on the symptoms, then you have generally more symptoms to work with. Does that make sense? So one of the reasons why we changed the top of the class is because we're not here to bash Western medicine. We're not here to bash allopathic medicine. We want to show the cooperative relationship and the blessings, and at the same time we need to have a reality check and we need to have an honest conversation that Western medicine has limitations because it primarily relies on synthetic medicine and it primarily relies on what I like to call an ambulance mentality. It does not focus on a prevention mindset. And as we move into our class, this right here sets you up for the conversation through the whole class. So do some pausing here where you're enlightening their minds and you're building safety. People don't come out to play unless they feel safe, right? So we're building safety in that people like to know, did somebody else do it or am I the first one to try it? So they just want to know that they're not taking some big wild risk and that other people have been doing it and they've been doing it successfully for a really long time. And a lot of medicine is based on that anecdotal success with plants. Most pharmaceuticals, the idea of what they are came from a plant. They just extracted a singular ingredient and then synthesized that, and that's why it's too loud for the body. It's no longer in that bouquet of chemicals that balance it out. So you choose for yourself what lives here for you. Take the time to study that and learn it. And again, just highlight a few pieces. I think you all understand the flow here, that what we're then providing is we're honing in on essential oils as a great idea. So of course you want to necessarily cover then as part of your history the re-emerging of essential oils as a major player in our health and wellness program. Now note that little bottles have been placed on the handout to remind you this is the time to pass out an oil. So we want to give them their first experience here with an actual certified pure therapeutic grade oil, which of course we're highlighting that emergence in 2008. And this is a great time to give them their first oil experience with smelling orange. Then we move into section 2. Why would you use doTERRA essential oils? Now we know why we'd use oils, but why doTERRA essential oils? So now we're highlighting the features that set doTERRA apart regarding natural, effective, and safe, and really focusing in on that. Now what's another thing we tend to get hammered for out in the public place? Well, doTERRA just made up CPTG. It's not even real. How many times have you heard that, right? So when you teach it here, you're actually laying down roots for your members for later. Because if they read that online, because this blogging Facebook thing is like, it's a machine, it's a monster, it's insane. Have you noticed how fast a poison and an untruth? And people are like, where's their filter? Where's the filter that says, you ask yourself, is this even true? Where's the filter that says check the source, right? So one of the things you're establishing again here in the first page is you need to establish a sense of credibility and safety for these new people, because this might be the first time they've ever heard about something like this. And so we are supplying necessary proof and science, but not in some crazy fire hose kind of a way that they're going to drown in it. Very simple. This can be about 10 minutes of your class, this first page. But necessarily they need to calm the part of self that needs that to listen to the rest of the class. If we just launch into our remedies without laying down those roots, then the doubting Thomas in the room hasn't had the left brain satisfied with the facts. So this is a great way to start out your class and establish those facts. So do you have some good verbiage that you like to use in regards to CPTG? Do you feel confident in your ability to really explain that well, and why it isn't just something that someone made up, but rather it's something really, really important? That this is the only company that chose to require certified pure therapeutic grade. And people need to understand that. Now, I always just share my own experience, which is I've been using oils for a long time, and I thought therapeutic grade was like the cutting edge, you know, quality and everything, and I didn't realize it wasn't regulated. So we just talk about, you know, that there's synthetics in the marketplace, especially in the perfume and laundry and air freshening industry. In food grade, we have higher standards with the GRAS standard. It's actually the standard that allows us to label oils for internal consumption. And you have to ask yourself, why isn't any other essential oil company taking advantage of that like we are? Because it's available. It is available, and that's food grade. Then we go into therapeutic grade, and the emphasis there is that it's unregulated. So hence doTERRA chose, by their own free will, to set a new standard. And no oil that doesn't pass that standard ever enters their doors. And what they certify is nothing added. And I don't know if you realize that nearly every essential oil book in the market was written with the assumption that the oil will have synthetics in it. Do you realize that is the standard? That all books, all warnings are all written to an industry that expects synthetics. You need to understand that what you have here is actually unique and rare. This is very special. The other companies aren't securing this for their people. doTERRA certifies, and again, you think about some of the slamming stuff online, doTERRA certifies their oils have nothing added, period. Okay, and they test them to ensure that, like 3 times, the same oils get tested before they hit our door. Okay, I don't know if you know much about the blood test on here. This is Dr. Hill's blood. Did you know that? He actually got up one morning and he ate the most acid-producing breakfast. I think it was like strawberry shortcake and whipped cream and sugar and strawberries to make his blood acidic. Have any of you ever had live blood analysis? I just got mine done in Switzerland a few weeks ago and got to see my blood and see if it was good. I'm happy to report it looked like this, not like this. And I had just used my oils too, which was good. So then he used balance on his big toe, and he had the technician draw his blood 30 seconds after that oil was applied, and that was the change in his blood. Now, he was actually sick that day, and you could see the pathogens in his blood, and you could also see them clearing. So I've seen a really big sample of this blood on the screen. We used to show it a lot in trainings way back when, and that's an extraordinary accomplishment. They actually repeated the same exact test on the technician. She was sick too, and so they took her blood, put balance on her blood. It also cleared considerably in 30 seconds, and here's the good part about her story. She'd been using a competitor's brand for 2 weeks and hadn't gotten better, and in 30 seconds could show a difference in her blood. So just some fun things there for us to highlight. I think the rest of it are things that you appreciate as normal. Now, how many of you remember the backside of Medicine Cabinet Makeover ended with a lifestyle discussion? Do you remember that? Where we talked about the 3 aspects of lifestyle, which is prepare, restore, and prevent. So notice that we've repeated that here, but we've switched the order around a little bit. What do they have on their minds when they come to a class like this? What they want to fix, which is generally their symptoms, right? A lot of times they don't know how to associate that with the root cause. So the first thing on their mind is, okay, great, now that we've had a 10-minute discussion of oils, how do I fix my problems? That's what they want to know. Just give me a fix. That's Western mindset. So let's drop them right into that. Where would you like to be restorative in your life? Now, what's so important about the inside of this whole class is this is interactive. That's why you don't want to hang out here for more than about 10 minutes, because people start to glaze over. You need some personal stories and things to breathe life into that, and just giving them enough facts, because this group experience where we're asking them questions. Write down right now your top 3 health concerns. What are they costing you? Write that down right now. So you want to compel them to action in the class, so they get in, they drop into making it personal for them and get real, so they start looking now throughout the rest of the class for their natural solutions to the problems that were foremost on their mind. Then we take them into the next discussion, and again, recognize the discussion aspect here. There's questions and interaction, which will totally engage them in the class more so. And then we have this beautiful made over medicine cabinet with these key words that are all wellness words, so marvelous. Don't spend a lot of time here. Teach them the principle, get them to look at those words, get them to consider those possibilities, and then give them maybe 1 or 2 examples so they can see how to apply the information. But don't let this be the climax of your class. You're not there yet. Okay, so hold on to the big goodies until a little bit later. But show them how to be prepared by keeping some tools in the home where they can always be prepared for life's little emergencies. It's fun to show your keychains and things like that as to how you always have oils on deck. And how many people are enamored by the keychain? A ton.
People love it.
People love it.
And I love this section because it's just about the little things. Like, what little things do you want to be prepared for, like cuts and bruises and that kind of thing.
A headache.
So you catch a vision of what this little section is about, and you can ask those things, have them write it down like that, and be done with this section, like you're saying.
You stay up here with me? All right. So once again, remember that we're not teaching them how to cure anything, right? So just keep your languaging pretty benign and pretty diluted there. What Ben taught me as we worked with him repeatedly on all of the handouts that we've done, including the last Medicine Cabinet Makeover, was let the audience member do the math. Don't do the math for them. They'll make the connections. They'll connect the dots. Okay, what's the next section? Okay, so we've had restore. Think about your own stuff. Yes? You can tell some stories in your class. It's also nice to have audience members tell the stories, right? So allowing testimonials is good. Ben taught me that's like speeding. Okay, so the FDA primarily sits in a chair in their office and watches online activity. They generally will not show up at your class. It is speeding to tell stories about how you cured something. You with me? No, that's not good. Speeding, you can get a ticket. Just telling you that in a private moment, your chances of having issues are less than a public place, so be more than ever mindful of what you do online. And I think it's wonderful to have testimonials in the class that are not coming from you, but can be coming from audience members, right?
Just remember that when you teach a class, even with maybe 5 people, I've had people I'm not even knowing recording me.
That's right.
An iPad or an iPhone that I just don't even notice, and I'm being recorded. So I am always cautious. I try not to speak.
Yes. And that's like in a larger audience, you know, what James said, he finds that people are recording him. Without his permission, they haven't asked. On Monday, I did a class with PJ again with 375 people, and I looked into the audience and I saw people with devices recording me without my permission. Okay, so I colored inside the lines. I did no speeding that day because you never know. And people without your permission will post you online. And ask them not to. That's not cool. Like, I didn't give permission for somebody to film me teaching and then post me online. Because I'm doing it in an event where I created certain boundaries, right? And then they could be taking that outside of that boundary. So those of you who are taking videos of inside member to member and then you're posting them on your website and then using them to do promotional efforts, you just put yourself at risk. And then again, that wasn't fair to the person who did the presenting because they didn't put in that context. Yes?
Sorry, I just need a little more clarity because we're so familiar with sharing personal stories.
Yes, we are.
Personal stories.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're saying no, never.
I'm telling you the rules. I told you the rules. It's speeding to talk about curing anything when you are using it as a promotional moment, period. When you are sharing with somebody about doTERRA and you tell them, I got over my migraines or I got over my cancer and I use these oils, you're speeding. Now, again, they're not watching you and hovering over you in those kinds of moments. It's up to you to decide how you want to play. I'm just teaching you. Then I don't want to take this moment and go into a conversation about that. I told you the rules, and it's up to you to be responsible. You are in a profession, you run a business, and you just get to use those rules wisely. So testimonials in a class are wonderful, especially coming from audience members. Okay? And you can just decide how you want to handle that.
And if people are asking you, just get real clear on what you can say, right? Because if you have a story to tell, you can say, wow, I used to experience migraines, and then I applied past tense to support my body's needs. It properly supported my body's needs, and I'm amazed at how I'm feeling now. And I don't experience migraines. We didn't use any cure language. We didn't use anything else there. Laura, come on. How can they share?
Oh, still a little bit of speeding.
So show us how they can share.
So you just focus on prevention and wellness. That's all. Your language is always on prevention and wellness, okay? You just don't use disease names. Remember, member to member continuing ed, you can totally make it happen there. It's just in the promotional moments, okay? And don't get paranoid. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being wise. Yes? Right. Okay, so she says you're in a class and someone says, what can help my eczema? And you can say, you know what I find is really good for supporting the skin. So you just focus it back on wellness, okay? So you can just go back to the wellness language. If you want to soothe the skin, if you want to support the skin, if you want to nurture the skin, if you want to revive the skin, if you want to regenerate the skin, those are fine. Okay, so just answer back with wellness language. Don't answer back to, here's how you cure eczema. Yes? Right. But in a class, you want to use your doTERRA names, right? So if you're experiencing any kind of tension, to whatever degree, then the past tense is an awesome blend for that, okay? So again, my intention wasn't to go down this rabbit hole with you. It was just to explain to you the change in the document, and so you can understand how to work with that. It's of tremendous value to you and relief because now, guess what? You're not curing diseases, and you don't have to know about a bunch of diseases. I think you'll find it's very liberating to be able to teach this way. You're actually going to find it's a relief because now you don't have to answer all those hard questions. You say, hey, there's this thing called Google. I suggest you go look it up and find out what body parts are involved. Play the game of Clue, right? That's what we call it. Like, go find out who's involved, and then you can look up in your book what body parts to support with that. Okay? Well, just like the words right here, all in the medicine cabinet, are those words. There's a whole vocabulary list here. You can get a feel for that. Everything in the prepare side of the cabinet are those words.
Laura, what I love about what you just said is at the bottom of this sheet on the inside, right, you'll see that it has solutions for each of these sections. So at the beginning, you can tell them, pay attention as we go through the class. You may hear solutions to your top health concerns, solutions to the things that you want to be more prepared for, solutions to the things that you want to prevent. And you're going to note them in that area as we go along. And if you didn't get any of those answers, we can go Google it afterward, or I have this Modern Essentials book that you can come look this up, and we're going to find and make sure that you go home with these solutions today, okay?
Excellent. Very empowering. Way to empower your class members. Okay, so important that we emphasize this part of the class. What do we have on here? The wellness pyramid. Do you notice that the top two sections are faded out? Okay, that wasn't a printing error, that was on purpose. They're faded out because it's not where we want to focus. We're not focused on informed self-care in this section, right? We talked about that over here. That's what Restore is about. We're talking about prevention, which is about focusing on the bottom levels. Note that it's health care up top and it's lifestyle down below. And this is really where you want to take your people. This is the invitation for the rest of your life together, right? Is we want to spend more of our time and energy on prevention than anything else, because you can truly not know 80% of health issues if you live a preventative life. How would you like to live a life like that, where 80% of health issues that are a possibility for you do not have to be a part of how you live because you focus here? And lifelong vitality is an essential part, no pun intended, of that conversation, because lifelong vitality is nutrition. And what we know about essential oils is they're secondary metabolites that work with nutrients in the body. So when people don't have enough nutrition, they don't get the same level of results. People who have enough nutrition get very, very quick results. Have you noticed that? That there's sometimes a degree of difficulty, perhaps, for some people. So we really want to emphasize our #1 best-selling product with a 30-day money-back guarantee, talk about each of those products and how they are an essential part of daily habits. Because, again, it's the daily habits, it's the consistent behavior that brings on the long-term results. How many of you have noticed that when people took the lifelong vitality, that was when they had some of the most staggering results? We got those great Restore results, right, with that first oil, and they got to see something started to behave differently. And where they really make those big leaps and bounds of progress is combining the oils with the nutrition and really progressing the body into a new state of being. Very important part of your emphasis, and a big part of where you're going to take them later with continuing ed. And in the wellness consult, that's going to be that follow-up appointment, is you're going to have an emphasis here on them actually looking at these areas of their life where they may need to have some focus, and they're going to have all kinds of product suggestions. So just take a second to take out your Live Guide and look through it if you haven't already, and notice it's very lifestyle-based. So these are great ways that we're going to trigger and follow up, because people only remember like 2 to 3 things they learned in your class anyways, right? So we want to make sure they follow up and realize that doTERRA has a huge selection of products to help with every single level of the lifestyle. We have all kinds of incredible home and body products to reduce toxic load. We have great ways to manage stress, etc. You get my point. So you want it to enliven this possibility, because in the wellness consult, you're going to return to this concept and reiterate it, because it becomes a habit for them when they hear it over and over again. So you have great things to emphasize in your continuing ed. Now notice the tips are laced into the class here, right? So notice once again, you've been given invitations. So let's just review one more time. In the front cover, we had an invitation to pass around wild orange, an invitation to pass around peppermint, and an invitation to pass around balance. So they've had 3 oil experiences on page 1. On page 2, Natalie's suggestion was 1 or 2 items here inside the prepare section. Just help them experience the concept. Oh, I want to soothe, so I'm going to use lavender. Something to that effect, right? And then here, we're talking about lifelong vitality. Now, and then notice the tips that are put in here so you can talk about those. It's to help. It's a script for you. So you make sure you capture those essential points that we know really enliven in their minds the possibilities. Now, the final section here is how to use the oils. So notice the application techniques have been repositioned in the class to the latter part. I think at this point they appreciate the concept of using an oil better because they've had more exposure to information, and this is that kind of crescendo and finale for the class. And this is where you can pass around the lion's share of the oils. And you don't have to pass around every single one. It takes a lot of time to talk about 9 more oils, because by now you should have already had about 5 oil experiences. So maybe 5 more, maybe 1 or 2 per line. Yes? You need to turn inside the 5? You don't see the 5. Okay, let me go through it one more time. All right, so right here on the timeline, introducing CPTG oils, you're passing around wild orange. So you're emphasizing that in your history. Number 2, here on your page, number 2 is peppermint right here, where you're talking about the potency, right? 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's a fun thing for people to learn. And then third, we're actually letting them experience that balance oil that caused that kind of change in the blood. That's a pretty radical thing to show. Let's let them smell how amazing that is. Okay, so that's 3 on page 1. Page 2, we're now into the prepare section here, and they're seeing this concept of soothing, nurturing, calming, and so pick out a couple of those things. Now, what if your demographic was a bunch of people who are retired? Okay? What if your demographic is a bunch of young moms with babies? So would you want to pay attention to who you're talking to? And much of the time, it's across the board, right? We have a variety of people in the room, but you can shift that focus, because if you're talking about diaper rash and colicky babies and you have a bunch of retired people, they don't relate to that, right? So just switch up your script just a little bit there and just focus on what would serve the group. Okay, so then we're over here now into application methods. And there we're going to give them more oil experiences, pass around more oils. So 1 or 2 oil, perhaps per application method. Make sure you have a diffuser going in the room, so when you do talk about aromatic, they're actually seeing that for real. And then allowing them to put the oils on their hands, show them how to smell them, how to cup their hands, letting them apply oils, letting them have real oil experiences right in the class. You all know that's the magic, right? The oils do their own work. They enroll people. They bring people to the oils.
And one really cool thing is that you don't have to just rely on this. How would you feel if you could share what Laura's talking about and what we're experiencing here with someone on DVD? Would you love that? So Laura and Kelly Wilson came together and taught this class, and there's some fun testimonials on there, of course, that are all FDA approved. And all theirs in case you want to send someone a class, right? Or in case you want to use a few pieces to add AV to this kind of class, or add a testimonial because you only have one other person in the room, whatever your situation may be. So Andy's going to be playing a little bit of this in the background as Laura completes this.
Cool, I haven't even seen it. It's awesome. So a little bit of plug and play, right? A class in a box where you can just plug in a DVD.
What are your top 3?
Do you want to give them a chance to listen? Or not? Sounds like the same girl on the stage. Okay, and I'll just be brief from here on out. So notice, and Natalie, would you like to just come and breathe life into how to close here? And don't forget, again, another tip section here to be emphasizing through that discussion. Again, your script.
Well, I love, Laura gave me this vision for there can be this whole part. Can you see how we're drawing every part of them out so they can have this complete health solution and be looking at all parts of their life? And here, as we have some of those solutions, that helps them see, oh, look, these are the things that I need to support me in my health and wellness. So then we have a great way to help them choose which kit they need. We can really assess them as we move forward. And this helps them get solutions so that they are engaged in this process, right? This is their worksheet, and I'm committed to helping them be empowered. Right? At the beginning, we talk about we're educating and empowering you so that you can bring these tools into your home so that you can experience this kind of wellness and these solutions, right? Want to talk about the destination always of the health and wellness that they're going to experience, okay? That's it.
Very good. And Kelly does a beautiful job modeling on the DVD. She does this great opener where she talks about what are our intentions in being here today. She gives the 3, and one of them is to teach you how to get these tools into your home. So once the class portion is complete, and again, the bulk of your time is spent here. So maybe 10 minutes on the front, 20 to 25 minutes inside, and then 5 to 10 minutes for your close. right? So this class could be done in 45 minutes. And that's really what you want, so you're not keeping people all night long, because you want that time one-on-one with them for them to get that enrolling process complete. If you go too long and it's an hour and a half, they get tired, they're looking at their watches, the baby's at home, whatever the case is, their husband, the kid, and then they leave, and then you ain't able to get the enrollment. So leave plenty of time for the one-on-one exchanges, to answer questions, to help them get support in picking their kit. So the next thing that we necessarily talk about, as I just highlight some pieces, is I told you at the beginning of the class we would talk about da-da-da-da-da, and then the third thing is how to get these tools in your home. So let me go ahead and share with you how you can bring doTERRA essential oils into your home. So now you turn them to this page. I forgot one other piece because I'm off on my paperwork. This is a new method, so forgive me as I learn as well. You can also highlight that the price list, it's something you can bring up at the beginning. How many of you have watched Teresa Harding's YouTube video? This is a great thing for you to go watch about how she places the price list as a wish list at the beginning of the class, and I've seen a lot of people's close rates go to 75 to 100% using Teresa's technique. So everybody write down Teresa Harding. Anybody remember what the exact thing is? What is it? The close? How to close. Okay, how to close, Teresa Harding YouTube. Go watch it so you can understand the magic of how to bring the price list into the class. So it's not like, okay, now we're turning the next page and surprise, these things cost money. We're disclosing that up front because we're not afraid to share that. These are valuable. So she does a great job of teaching how to do that. I won't take the time to teach that here. So now you're saying, let's go back and find out how to bring these tools in your home. There's 2 ways, or you can say 3 ways. Some people like to do one or the other. One is retail. And this is kind of the way I like to position this. Now, the retail is for those of you who are kind of toe dippers. You just haven't decided to make the commitment yet fully to a wellness lifestyle. It's an excellent opportunity for you to pick up 1 or 2 oils, get with the person who's hosting the class, and she'll be happy to order those for you. Now, that's by far and away the less common way, so let me share with you what most people choose to do, and that's to get a wholesale account with doTERRA. This is much like your Costco account. We're used to paying, $55 a year, and you get to go and purchase wholesale and get some rebate points. With doTERRA, that same membership is $35. And with that $35, you now have the ability to get your product wholesale. Now, in addition to that simple wholesale account, I want to show you something that's a real bonus with that account. Will you turn with me to this back page and look at this little chart here of these numbers? And I get a check from Costco every January, and I think it's like 2% of my purchases every year. With doTERRA, you actually start out with a 10% rebate and can earn your way through their loyalty rewards program to 30%. Now, I've earned my way there, having done this for those 13 months and more. So I now get 30% back on my purchases. So what that looks like is for a 100 PV order, that's like 100 points, about $100 worth of oils, for example, I would get then into my savings account, my points account, 30 points. Now, remember we talked earlier in the class about On Guard or Serenity? I would be able to get a free bottle of Serenity or On Guard with my points. So you're just showing them how that works. You don't give them a lot of information. Now, why did I bring up cost? Because everybody relates to it, and what's the other reason? It's a sense of comparison. When you don't use a sense of comparison in sales, then they're left to decide for themselves if $35 is expensive. When I position it against a $55 membership, it's inexpensive. And then when I share with them, they get it free with a kit, we're in bonus city. So I've taken them to different levels. If you don't start there, there's nothing for them to weigh it against. It's also why I bring up the rebate program to show them how generous doTERRA's program begins and grows to is extraordinary. We're talking 10 times or more than what they would get from their Costco rebate, and I always say, I love getting that check every year. It's fun. So imagine how fun it is to get my doTERRA points, right? So then I take them back after I've explained LRP very briefly, and I say, turn back with me now, if you will, to this first page, and I'd like to share with you our #1 best-selling kit. And this kit, we call it the Natural Solutions Kit, and what I want you to know is everything we talked about in our class tonight, all the products that you've experienced and seen here, they all come in this kit. This is the lifestyle kit. It allows you to be restorative, prepared, and preventative, including, and then I point to the products. The Lifelong Vitality is in here, and I just highlight a few things that we've spoken of to make sure that they see them, and then I focus on the diffuser being free. What's lovely about this is you also will have that diffuser for free so you can get started using your oils aromatically. And bonus, with this particular kit, remember the points we talked about earning? With this kit, you actually get to have placed onto your account after your first loyalty rewards order 100 points. Now, do you remember earlier in the class I was telling you how much we love helichrysum at our house and how much we've loved Melissa? Well, you could use those points to get an oil like that for free. So I always like to take it back to the stories earlier in the class so they see, oh, I mean, the oil that you called an investment oil, because I'll say at our house I would never be without helichrysum as a mom, but I call it an investment oil because of how much it is per drop. This way you could go ahead and add that oil to your collection for free. So make sure you're kind of tying in from earlier stories and testimonials so they see how to apply the principles, because all they really care about is, I'm going to get a really expensive oil for free. Awesome. And a free diffuser. I'm on it. I want that kit. Right? So your close rate will go up, or it's easier than now to sell a home essentials kit as the step down versus a family physician kit. Right? So never mention another kit in the class. It's best not to. They'll do the math for themselves. And you tell them the principle that any kit that you purchase will get you your membership for free. So what we want you to do after the class is get with us and let us help you decide what kit is best for you and your family. So you show them the ideal, you show them all the bonuses. If you try to explain free and discount on more than one kit, they'll get dizzy. Because on top of this, you probably have some specials you're going to share, right? And then that can be even more dizzying. Natalie, would you like to share with them a little bit about the final piece here that they can use for that?
Oh, man. By the way, this stuff is not going to have big white boxes through it, okay? In a couple days, so these will be at my old business in the morning, or afternoon.
After you've heard about the new products, then you can have these.
You'll be able to see them without white boxes. They look really good. But right here at the bottom, it's like we have our wellness consult certificate, right? It's right here giving them a free wellness consult and a free guide to let them know how to use their oils, and that's the Live Guide that we're going to go into.
Value.
Yeah, we're giving them value. We're creating more value and building that relationship of trust.